Lots has already been said about India seemingly losing out to Pakistan in the narrative or influence war going on the sidelines of the West Asia conflict. Pakistan is set to be the venue for the Iran.
On the morning of 14 June 2025, at exactly 12:41 a.m., a single Twitter account posted a story. It said Indian spies had been arrested by Iran. It was completely false. Within 1 hour, 117 coordinated accounts retweeted it. 111 Facebook pages published it simultaneously. Posts were being made less than 1 minute apart. No human types that fast. By evening, it had reached millions of people. India's official response? APIB fact-check post that 12,000 people read. In February 2021, Rihanna tweeted, Greta tweeted, Hollywood tweeted. A pre-written script told them what to say. India was debated in the Canadian Parliament, the British House of Commons, the US Congress, 26 people killed. India launches Operation Sindoor. Pakistan responds not with jets but with deepfakes. An AI video of PM Modi apologizing to Pakistan reached 80 million people before India could say a word. India is winning wars on the ground. India is losing the war on your screen. This is the full story of the system doing it. The money behind it, the algorithm powering it, and what India must build before it is too late. Let us be precise about what we are dealing with. This is not random social media noise. This is a structured, funded, coordinated information warfare system. And it has a command center, H command center. SPR is Bhaniswal, Demarigal, Nauchepal, something, Birbal, maybe ISPR, Inter-Services Public Relations, is Pakistan's military media wing. But calling it a media wing undersells what it does. According to the Observer Research Foundation, the ISPR gives trained cyber volunteers for information operations, gives funds propaganda content production, gives coordinates diaspora media in the Gulf and United Kingdom, gives works directly with Chinese state media accounts, gives coordinates with Turkey's TRT World, has partnerships with Qatar's Al Jazeera network. This is military-grade information warfare, executed with the precision of a military operation, because it is a military operation. The proof. The 24 HOUR operation on 13th June 2025, the Iran-Israel conflict escalated. Pakistan's narrative infrastructure deployed within 24 hours. DFRAC documented the operation precisely. Gives that GTV News PK posted Indian spies arrested by Iran at 12:41 on 14th June. Gives less than 24 hours after the conflict escalated. Gives 117 Twitter accounts shared identical content within hours. Gives posting intervals under 1 minute between accounts. Gives 111 Facebook accounts published simultaneously. Gives same graphics, same hashtags, same scripted text. Gives suggesting a unified command structure. DFRAC's conclusion: a structured and coordinated misinformation campaign rather than isolated incidents. The amplification network, Layer 1, state media partners, gives Al Jazeera, owned by Qatar's royal family. Qatar has deep financial relationships with Pakistan. In December 2025, an Al Jazeera journalist circulated a deep-fake image in Bangladesh anti-India campaign. When debunked, no retraction issued. Gives TRT World, funded by Erdogan's Turkish government. Reliable amplifier of Pakistan-aligned Kashmir narratives. Erdogan has made repeated anti-India statements publicly. Gives CGTN, China's state broadcaster. Active in spreading anti-India content during Sindoor. India blocked CGTN accounts for insightful content. Layer 2, the credibility lenders, Western vloggers. This is the most sophisticated layer. A Western YouTuber saying India is dangerous is 10x more credible to a global audience than a Pakistani official saying it. Pakistan's ISPR began sponsoring Western YouTubers in 2019. Stated purpose: promote Pakistan's tourism. Actual purpose: use Western faces for anti-India narratives. Documented cases: gives Callum Abroad documented links to ISPR and ISI agent Jyoti Malhotra. Gives Azerbaijani journalist Anastasia Lavrina, hired as Pakistan Kashmir lobbyist. Gives Forbes article declaring Pakistan best for solo female travelers. Later confirmed as paid placement by Pakistani agencies. Gives multiple citizen journalist YouTube channels with Pakistani tour agencies, ISI front offices as sponsors. The model: pay foreign faces, get global credibility. India gets the bad story. Pakistan gets clean hands. Layer 3, the AI content farms. News media flagged 120 instances of AI-generated anti-India content in 2025. 4 content types being mass-produced. Gives military defeat deepfakes, fake jet debris, destroyed air bases. Gives political betrayal content, Modi by Amit Shah apologizing to Pakistan. Gives internal chaos claims, fake minority persecution videos. Gives diplomatic isolation, India begged for ceasefire narratives. Now let us examine the 5 major narratives being pushed against India, with the data behind each. Narrative 1. Military defeat during Operation Sindoor. Pakistan's documented claims. Gives Indian Rafale jet shot down near Bahawalpur. Fabricated photos were from unrelated aircraft incidents. Elsewhere gives Srinagar airbase destroyed. AI-generated video. Fabricated gives Indian woman Air Force pilot captured. Fabricated Indian Air Force officially denied. Never happened. Never happened. Gives PM Modi deepfake apologizing to Pakistan. AI deepfake reached 80M plus people before debunked. Gives India Brigade HQ captured. Fabricated debunked by Indian Army within hours. The goal of this narrative: turn India's precision counter-terror operation into proof that India lost the war. Narrative 2. Hindu persecution of Muslims. Most persistent narrative across global Muslim majority countries. The mechanism: gives any communal incident, however isolated, amplified as systematic state persecution. Gives OIC passes resolutions against India at every opportunity. Gives Al Jazeera frames every BJP policy as anti-Muslim. Gives Pakistani and Turkish social media reaches 2 billion Muslims globally. Al Jazeera writes more India democracy articles than Pakistan democracy articles. Freedom House rates Pakistan partly free, same as India. Yet the international coverage volume is dramatically asymmetric. Selectivity as the narrative. Narrative 3. Kashmir OCQ territory. Pakistan's oldest and most successful narrative. 70 years running. Result of consistent diplomatic messaging. Gives UN discussions routinely use disputed terminology. Gives 57 OIC nations reliably vote against India on Kashmir. That gives Western media uses Indian-administered Kashmir, validating occupation framing by default. Why India has never overcome this? Pakistan created the narrative first. India has been responding ever since. First mover advantage in narrative, as in markets, is permanent. Why? Narrative 4. India's democracy is dying back. Freedom House downgraded India partly free in 2021. VDM, electoral autocracy. RSF, India ranked 159th in press freedom in 2024. These rankings are cited in every Western article critical of India. Legitimate concerns exist: press freedom issues, sedition laws, internet shutdowns in conflict zones. These are real. The ranking may be disputed, but India does have governance issues. The problem is selective application. India is held to a standard its critics are not. Narrative 5. India IS UNICEF for minorities and tourists. Directly targets India's $30 billion tourism industry. Gives Pakistan-linked travel influencers present Pakistan as safe gem, while painting India as dangerous by chaotic. Gives the paid Forbes article for Pakistan implied India was less safe by contrast. Gives any crime involving a foreigner in India equals global news. Same crime elsewhere equals no amplification. Gives economic impact. Perception manipulation of tourism arrivals. February 2021. India's farmers' protest is in its 3rd month. Then something extraordinary happened. In the span of a few hours, gives Rihanna 100 million followers, tweeted about the protests. Gives Greta Thunberg 5 million followers, tweeted with the toolkit. Gives Meena Harris, Kamala Harris's niece, tweeted. Gives Amanda Cerny, Lily Singh, multiple Hollywood accounts. Gives all posting on the same day, with similar language. India trended globally as oppressing farmers. The Canadian Parliament debated India's domestic farm laws, and British MPs raised the issue. US Congress people commented. India, a sovereign democracy debating its own agricultural policy, was being judged by an international audience that had been handed a script. The document, what the toolkit actually said, the toolkit was a planning document. It contained, gives pre-written tweets for celebrities to copy-paste, gives specific hashtags to use on specific dates, gives instructions to contact specific journalists, gives a pressure campaign plan targeting Indian embassies globally, gives steps to escalate the protest into an international incident. It was created by the Poetic Justice Foundation, a Canada-based organization with documented links to Khalistani separatist groups. Multiple investigations found gives Pakistan's ISI and Khalistani diaspora networks coordinated the international amplification of this toolkit gives. The timing was deliberate, designed to coincide with Republic Day 26 January for maximum visual impact. Then India's opposition accidentally made this global story bigger. Opposition activist Disha Ravi shared the toolkit document on WhatsApp. Delhi police arrested her. Result: Narrative 1, India is suppressing farmers' protest, became Narrative 2, India is arresting people for sharing documents, 1 arrest. 2, negative global narratives. Sweden debated it. Germany commented. The UN Special Rapporteur issued a statement. This is the information warfare trap India keeps falling into. The response creates a second, often worse, story. The lesson from the toolkit moment. The toolkit demonstrated something India must internalize. You do not need to change facts to change perception. You only need to create a compelling emotional frame. Get credible faces to amplify it. Coordinate the timing for maximum impact. Repeat until it becomes the accepted narrative. India has never built the equivalent capability. When an anti-India narrative goes global, India's cultural icons are silent. When a toolkit reaches Rihanna, India's diaspora communicators have no counter toolkit.